Turning Point USA contributor and host of Human Events Daily, Jack Posobiec. Welcome.
Hey, thanks so much for having me on.
The draft Supreme Court opinion leak is huge in the press right now. A leak like that is unprecedented. Why do you think it was leaked? Why this case?
Well, I think it's very clear what's going on here. You've got someone most likely, and I've been talking to my sources in and around the court about this, who's most likely a liberal clerk who's up for one of these positions. Now, keep in mind that the universe of people that have access to these draft opinions is actually quite small. Many of them, are using court-issued devices for these communications. These are kept under lock and key. This is not something the Supreme Court is known for being one of the most secretive institutions in Washington, D.C. I mean, even the intel community leaks more than the Supreme Court does. So this is, of course, those are, targeted leaks. This is very unprecedented. But we think, or at least the leading analysis or leading hypothesis at this point, that this is someone who probably knew that they were going to be caught, but did so for ideological reasons because they were so upset at what looks like to be a potential and likely at this point overturning of Roe v. Wade, the decision that was made in 1973.
What could this leak mean for the Supreme Court going forward?
Well, going forward, it becomes a huge problem for the Supreme Court because it kind of puts them in a bind, because the reporting says that 5 justices are currently for this thing. So out of 9, obviously 5 would be the majority. That means Roe v. Wade is done, and Casey along with it, Casey versus Planned Parenthood. But if one of those number were to change, if this were suddenly to become 4 to 5 the other way, and it only take 1 justice to do that, that would then be the perception that this leak influenced not only a massive backlash in terms of this leftist and Antifa and BLM network activation that we're seeing now obviously being done to coincide with the shift into the midterm season, but it would show that the credibility of the court, of the institution, was at fault, which would mean essentially a decimation of their credibility, because it would show that they are not there reading the law, discussing this, and trying to figure out what is truly constitutional, right? This idea of constitutional review of law, but instead that the court is malleable by the whims of public opinion. Of course, this would forever tarnish the legacy and the credibility of the Supreme Court as an institution.
What's the outlook for America going forward?
Well, I think the United States is at a critical moment. I think when you look in terms of the United States economically, the outlook is not good. I do think that going forward, even though certainly Joe Biden and the Democrats are trying, the pro-abortion Democrats are trying to turn this into the issue of midterms, at the end of the day, people are going to be affected far more on a day-to-day basis by the gas prices, by their food prices going up, diesel's going up right now. So that, of course, is going to affect everything that is shipped across this country by our truckers, our great truckers. And so those are the things that people are going to vote on. It's those kitchen table issues, those pocketbook issues, and you are going to see a massive red wave in November because of it.
Jack Posobiec, thank you.
Appreciate it. Thanks.